Paintball on the surface is a simple game, but when you're playing one of the highest levels of the sport goes, there's a lot of details that go into it that no one tells you about. So what are all these small things that make a big difference when you're playing one of the most competitive levels that the sport goes? So I'm taking you along with me to show you everything that goes into one of these tournaments, from the play all the way down to how much money I spent. As me and my team at Greenville Growl came out to the NXL Windy City Open in Chicago, Illinois. We're playing in this semi-pro division, which is the second highest division in tournament paintball. And stay till the end of the video to see how this tournament ends for us and how much it costs me. So it's Friday, day one of the tournament. We got our first two prelim matches, but yesterday was Thursday and that was all travel. So yesterday we got on a plane from Charlotte all the way to Chicago, and that cost me this much. After that, we took an Uber from the airport straight to the field to where we could check in, walk the fields, practice if we needed to, and also drop off all our gear to get fixed so we could be ready for today. Once we got done with that, we headed over to the Airbnb, and once we got to the Airbnb, we had a team meeting, sit down, talk about everything we needed to get done for today, had some dinner, cost me $22 for the dinner, and then after that, got some sleep, and now we are here today this morning. So match one of the day is against Tiki's Totems. Never played this team before, but I have seen them play plenty of times, so I know that they are sound, but I don't know how good they actually are. We don't have any time to scout them, so we're going in pretty much blind, but we have a good idea how to play the field. And that's another thing. We have 4 of these prelim matches. How we do in that determines if we're going to move on to Sunday, which is playoffs. And just to even play these 4 prelim matches, you have to pay an entry fee, just $2,700. So saying that, we have match 1. And after all the practice, I'm really confident. We're going to go out there, play our hearts out. Let's go set the tone for this tournament.
After losing that first point, it was my time to get on the field and see if I can make a difference. After going up 4-1, Tiki started to dial in their lanes and shoot us off the break. But luckily we had an answer by pulling up short and holding off the Tiki's guys as they tried to push down the field.
Hey, California!
These matches we play are 15 minutes, and the team with the most points at the end of the time, or the team that scores 5 more points than the other team, wins the match. But teams are allowed to concede a point in order to save time. Therefore, this all adds into the strategy and how the game is played. When the time was up in our first match, the final score was 7-4, giving us the first win of the prelims against Tiki's. And while the score looked good, it would come back to bite us down the road.
All right, guys, so we just won match 1 against Tiki's. We won 7-4. Now we're moving on to the second match against Shut Up We're Trying. So another part that people don't talk about is the scouting in these tournaments. So we were able to scout Shut Up, see what they've been doing, and kind of get a game plan. And we realized that they're back center shooting the Dorito way, and they've got a guy going up to the Dorito 50 almost every single point. So that's the game plan, is to figure that out. But we played 2 of these guys today, 2 of these guys tomorrow. Our bracket is full of 6 teams. There's 24 teams, so that's 4 brackets of 6. For the top 2 of our bracket, meaning we have one of the best records in the bracket, we move on to the playoffs, which is the final goal. So we're getting everything together, the game plan. We're gonna go out there, let's play the second match. Let's go.
teammate Zach had taken a bad dive and dislocated his shoulder, and now thus being down 0-3 and having injured players, the match started to slip away from us.
Shot the hopper, playing on.
Point approved.
Alright guys, so we just finished up match 2, and as y'all can see, a mercy rule loss is not how we wanted to end day 1, but it is what it is. We have to learn from those mistakes and move on from it, but it's around lunchtime, so I'm going to get some food in, and what I eat at these tournaments is super crucial. Now when I'm traveling, it's easy to get a ton of junk food in and just feel like a D6 player on the field. Therefore, in order to keep things as clean as possible, I bring protein powder with me, and that's where the video sponsor today, Birdman, comes in. I carry around a ton of Birdman's Falcon Performance with me to help me stay on track. This thing's got 31 grams of vegan protein, along with 5 grams of BCAAs, 5 grams of creatine, and a digestive blend, all to help me stay on track while I'm playing these tournaments and recover faster. And this stuff tastes great and mixes even better. But if you're like me, you spend way too much money on paintball tournaments, then you're always trying to save some money. And that's why Birdman gave me a discount code. So Matt GYMRAT will save yourself 10% on any Birdman products like this protein that I drink at every single paintball tournament. And it's all available on Amazon. So you can click the first link in my bio and it'll take you straight there. Big thanks to Birdman for keeping me on track when I'm at these paintball tournaments and also sponsoring the video. And before I go, I want to hear from y'all. What do you take when you're traveling to help yourself stay on track, performing at your best? Alright, so we're back at the house. What we did, we got home, everyone showered, cleaned up, threw the stuff in the wash so that we have clean clothes for tomorrow. And we also had dinner and then a team meeting. In a team meeting, we discussed what we need to do for tomorrow, make sure that we're successful. So we're gonna do that, but now it's time to get some rest because we gotta get up early. I really, really wanna win. I mean, we gotta win big, so it's time to go to bed, get some rest. Let's get up in the morning, let's go. All right, boys, Saturday morning. So we got up early, got up at 5:30. We're left the house at 6. We're here at 6:30, getting ready to start. Match 1 of the day is against New York Infectious. So we played them once before, kind of have a good idea of what they're doing. So part of getting ready is getting all the paint together.
Paint is a crucial aspect to these tournaments because if your paint isn't shooting right, you won't be able to hit anything. These national events have 4 different paint vendors, all with different types of paint to shoot at different prices. We shoot Valken paint and usually pay around $20 a case with our sponsorship. From that, we can choose from different batches depending on the paint itself. You can test the paint for how brittle it is and make a decision off of that. We usually choose the most brittle paint so it has a higher chance of breaking when it hits someone, but sometimes it can backfire and cause issues where it breaks in your loader and your marker. And we had that exact issue on Friday.
Hey JP, I'm shredding paint.
So we switched to a harder ball in a different batch so we could shoot the paint without any issue. We usually get 10 cases around 20 minutes before the match, so it's fresh when it comes time to play. With the paint being a temperature sensitive gel capsule, the warmer it gets, the less likely it is to break when it hits someone, which is why it's kept refrigerated in the shipping containers they come in. Once we get the paint, we shoot it through our markers to make sure everything is good and we're shooting under 300 FPS. They have chronos in every pit to make sure this happens easily.
I lick my finger and he shoots by it and I'm like, yep, 295, 277.
Once we know the paint's shooting good, we pod every pod we have so we don't have to worry about it when it comes time during the match. And one of the things that helps us do that is the pit help. These people help us pod paint, pick up pods after points, and make sure we get back out on the field with everything we need. This help is crucial to allow us to just focus on playing paintball. We also keep the pits stocked with plenty of microfibers, pod swaps, and extra setups to keep us clean and prepared for anything.
Besides that, man, I am super excited to play today. I stayed up really late last night just thinking, going through all the plays that I need to do. The only issue, I left my book bag at home, so no head cam footage, but it is what it is. If we want a chance to become a professional paintball team, we got to win out today. We got to move on to Sunday, put us better in a season standing. So let's go get it.
One point at a time. You know what we
All right, boys, so we just finished match number 3. We needed to win big, and that's exactly what we did with Infectious. We played fast, we played well, and now we have to take that over into the Sea Dogs, which is going to be our hardest match of the entire prelims. So everything's coming down to the wire right here. We have to win to move on, keep our hopes alive. I'm ready. Let's go.
We actually had a run-in with the Sea Dogs in our last tournament. We ended up having one of the lowest scoring paintball matches ever. No one scored a single point in the 15 minutes. So we went into overtime 0-0 where we scored the only point of the entire match 19 and a half minutes in. So we knew the Sea Dogs were out to even the score, and we knew it was going to be another long battle. Being down 0-2 with 45 seconds left on the clock, the fate for our last match was sealed. We went on the field and gave one last push to see if we could put a point on the board. And the Sea Dogs knew it was coming, and were able to hold off our last efforts to score, giving us our second loss of the prelim. But our dreams of playing in the playoffs weren't completely crushed. With the playoffs taking the top 2 of each bracket, there's also 2 wildcard spots open. This means 2 additional teams will be put into the playoffs. And having a record of 2-2, we had a chance. But the day was early, so we had to wait for the rest of the teams to play their prelim matches to see how everything would play out.
All right, boys, so we just finished up their last match of prelims. We lost to the Sea Dogs 2-0. So we're really just leaving it up to the paintball gods to see if we move on or not. But if you want the paintball gods to smile on you, kind of like how my mom smiles at pictures of me when I was a baby, then you should pick up one of these Another Deposit shirts. We just dropped
3 exclusive anime shirts, and we only made 12 of each. We got a Berserk, Bleach, and a Demon Slayer one, so if you like any of those, you like the shirt too.
As the day winded down and the matches finished, we were able to see just how close we would be to getting in. There were several other teams with the same 2-2 record as us. Therefore, since our records were tied, we go to point margin. This is your average points per match. So your points scored is subtracted by your points allowed and divided by 4 for the 4 prelim matches you play. This decides tiebreakers. And this is where I said earlier that those extra points that we allowed will come back to bite us. We had a positive 0.25 point margin, but there were 4 other teams with better point margins than us. Therefore, our tournament was done.
That sucks.
So pretty much Sunday we spent all day watching pro matches and also walking around at all the vendors, and that's probably the last thing that I want to touch on about playing these paintball tournaments is that there's over 40 plus vendors at these national ones, so you can walk around, check out new paintball gear, and also get whatever you need. As the day wound down, we went and met up with my brother, got some wings, and then went to bed and got ready to go home on Monday.
Along with everybody else, we made it, boys.
I want him to be in football.
Alright boys, Monday morning, we're all packed up and ready to go. One of the last things a lot of people don't show you is getting home from these events. It's pretty simple, but the biggest thing you gotta do is you gotta bleed all your air out and take your reg off. And then you gotta make sure this whole bad boy under 50 pounds so that they don't charge you a lot of money. So we got the Uber on the way. It's time to go home. Thank you, Chicago. It was good. And that's the end of this journey. Let's go.
And for that, let's wind down and talk about the details that you want to know. How much did it cost me to play this entire paintball tournament? So for food, Thursday through Monday, I typically only buy breakfast on the days that I'm playing, and then dinner and snacks included. And that, along with fueling my energy drink addiction, came out to $191.83. For travel, from the plane flights, the team rental van, and also the Ubers that I took to get around, costed me $599.90. The Airbnb came out to $288.15 per person. And lastly, the price of playing. The paint bill came out to $1,400, which meant that it was $140 per person for the paint bill, and then also entry costed me $270. So the total cost for me to play one of these national paintball tournaments is $1,201.73. And that's what they don't tell you about playing a paintball tournament.